In today's episode, we're fixing up not one, not two, but 3 cars. Because boys and girls, I know you love a problem. And here at Marvelous Cars, we do too. So today, you better fasten your seatbelts because we've got tons of them. Let's go and get it. We are back on this infamous BMW 7 Series with the seized or whatever locked up wheel bolt in there. Look at this previous video right here. Me and John gave it our best go at the time, and it was just snapping things left, right and center. We tried banging in a 16mm on it, cracked it. 16mm top-sided, nothing. Turbo socket, the 17mm obviously fits, but now we have found out that we can even put the 16mm because it's so rounded now that it's gone down to pretty much 16mm. So I have just managed to fit a 16mm turbo socket in there. Now the question is, will it let go or not? So let's give it a crack. So the 16mm turbo socket, I can actually fit 24mm on the outside of it. So does it fit? Yes, it does. Okay, let me just go and grab a breaker bar. Now we're gonna see if we're gonna be using the 3/4 or the 1/2 inch. So let's give it a good go. Have a look at this. This is pretty much now 2 meters long. This bolt is definitely very hard to crack loose. As you can see, the total length of the so-called breaker bar is about 2 meters long. I just cannot imagine how long the technician held the impact gun in this bolt for. It's moving. Just not sure if that is the nut or the socket. A few toilet expressions later and... Okay. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Yes! Oh my lord! Have a look at that. That is next level crazy. Look at this. So this is what I had to do. So this is a 24mm that goes over that. Thankfully this 24mm just fits in this holes here, and I've just managed anyway to remove it. Okay, front brake pads replacement, let's get it. Just when I thought everything is going well, I've come across something rather unusual and surprising. This day is not getting any better. I've literally just opened the box for the brake pads, and there's only 3 bloody pads on it. Let me just package this. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, that's good. Well, that's jarring. Great. It is not stopping, is it? Now we're gonna have to go back to get refund for this, or exchange hopefully. This is the most annoying thing about being mobile. Obviously, like, you're prepared to replace it and then you open the box and there's only 3 pads. Alright, so we are back. Obviously we're going to be replacing it with good parts only. So we've got Brembo here because they didn't have pads yet. But yeah, let's get started, man. This is taking too long, this job. It's taken us approximately a week to remove that bolt, so finally, we can start renewing the brake pads. For real this time, with a complete set of Brembo pads. What a grief having to go through all that. Right, so for these pins, you still have to grease them up. I don't know if you saw earlier, when I was cleaning it, there was actually ceramic grease on it. It's a must because now this is where the brake pads actually slide in and out. For obviously when they start to wear down and stuff, this is where they slide. So it's best to keep them lubricated. And same with the backing plate as well right here. So just put some on this bit over here, and that should keep you good. And then that piece over there, the top bit where this pin goes, yeah, it's best to just give them a little bit of lubricant to help the sliding pins, obviously, to let the brake pads in and out. And now it's just a case of putting everything back together so we can move on to the other side. Will it surprise us with another seized bolt? Let's find out. And just like that, we have now finished this side over here. So brand new Brembo in there, you can see right there. Now moving on to the next side. For you guys' information, right, this is how you should be putting this in. So to prevent it from cross-threading, put it in by hand, have a feel, see if it goes in. So now that goes in, use your impact and just go like this. 1 click, 1 click, 1 click, 1 click. Haha, obviously that's the missing bolt because it is rounded. So yeah, that's it. And then after that you just torque it. Do you know what that means? You know what torquing it means?
15 minutes later.
That is actually me done on this side. I thought I'm not going to video it because it's the same procedure anyway. So sensor's been replaced, and obviously the pads as well, same procedure. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. There you go, nice and shiny, ready to be paired with that. Shiny, shiny, lovely. Right, now that this thing is on the floor, do you want to see what 140 Newton meters look like? It's not much. And also, because I didn't torque it with a gun, this is what you should be doing. See that? That's how it should be. Should have turns, and then click. Yep. Yep. There you go. And then go around again. There you go. That is what 140 Newton meters look like. It's not like none of that, mate. Let's go talk the next side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now go back again to the reverse order. Obviously I can't torque this one because it doesn't have a wheel bolt. The customer has actually ordered a wheel bolt for it, but this is not what you should see for once you've gunned it down. You're not supposed to see this. You're not supposed to see it click straight away. If it clicks straight away, it's likely that you have already over torqued that. So take it off and then let the torque bar spin at least a quarter of a spin, not even an eighth, a 16th of a spin. As long as it turns and doesn't click straight away, you're good to go. So I hope this video helps you out on how to torque your wheels properly. Right, you don't want to end up in the same situation as me. Time to finish up this job. And also, what I forgot to say is don't drop the torque wrench, because if you drop the torque wrench, it's not going to be calibrated anymore. It's not going to be the same. Trust me, it's not the same. It's very sensitive, these things. That's why they're used for precision torquing. That's what it's called. All right, so don't drop your torque wrench. Take care of it. Don't just chuck it like that. I've seen many garages do that, where they just chuck the torque wrench as if it's just a normal wrench. Don't do it. Honestly, don't do it. Take care of your torque wrenches like a baby. Don't drop it.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
We are gonna be diagnosing this vehicle here for an ABS fault. So let's go and have a look. So we've been here before. We've actually replaced the front left caliper and also the disc and pads. Last time it was because the caliper on the front was binding. Now the customer is saying that he is having issues now with the rear left, he thinks, because he can smell brakes for once he drives and it feels really hot apparently on this side over here. And from what I can see, from what I can observe anyway, it looks like his caliper is binding again on this side, but that is just a current assumption. It's not really a diagnosis. As you can see here, look, you can see right there, it's hardly gripping the whole disc. It's just gripping a small amount of it. 1, 2, can you see those 3 lines? That's basically where it's gripping it. We will find out, but first we need to diagnose it because his 4x4 light is on as well. So you can see right here, right there, that is not supposed to be on. Even, but when you turn it on, you'll get that. And also, he's got his low tire pressure light on, which could mean that the 4x4 is deactivated because of the low pressure tire. But again, just an assumption. Let's go and find out and diagnose the vehicle properly before we start saying this thing needs to be replaced. So let's jump into diagnostics. Whoa. All right, upon looking at the data that we've got here on our scanner, it's saying that the steering angle sensor has got a fault. Very common on these BMWs over here, so come have a look. You can see right there, slider fault, adjustment operation. It's saying no message from dynamic stability control on the transfer box. Right, a combination of those two. So if, say for example, your steering angle sensor does not work, okay, your dynamic stability control will be turned off because your car doesn't know whether you're turning left, you're turning right. That's what it is basically. So just to be safe, it's just gonna turn the dynamic stability control off, because say for example, if you were turning to the left at speed, what's going to happen is it's actually going to slow the left hand side down and then speed up the right hand side. No such thing as speeding up the right hand side. What I meant to say was to let the right hand side free roll compared to the left side, only if it needs braking, of course. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is, as far as I know, just so that it can balance so you don't start slipping and sliding everywhere. That is the whole point of dynamic stability control. And if your steering angle sensor is not, if it's not reporting that it's going to the left or going to the right, then it's going to be impossible for the dynamic stability control to do its job. That's why you've got saying no message from dynamic stability control. And what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at the steering angle sensor on this BMW. Just to back it up as well, you can see right there that the ABS dynamic stability control module is showing LWS steering angle sensor internal. So it seems like I had to try because it will save my customer money. So I adjusted, well, recalibrated the steering angle sensor, and it seemed like it got rid of the fault code. And before, it was just stuck on minus 1440, which is obviously way over. It seems like it has disappeared, as you can see right there. It is completely gone. And obviously the step for that is to also reset the tire pressure monitoring system, which has been done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a test drive to see if that is actually gone. And good thing about that is his steering is actually a lot lighter now as well.
The following day.
It is now the following day for this BMW E83 right here. As you can see, it's a little bit cold this morning. It's not ideal to be working on brakes. You know, sometimes when you end up smashing your fingers in the cold weather, it's not good, is it? I can't remember if I recorded it, but yesterday we were actually here, and he had an inquiry about a C's caliper, and as you can see right here, handbrake is down. I just want to show you, handbrake is down. Let's put it on neutral. Now that the vehicle's in neutral, you can see right here, it's very stiff. Look, it's very difficult to move it, and that is on neutral, and also the parking brake's down. So yeah, if you can remember, so if you check this video out, it's the one over here. We replaced the front left because it was seized, because I think this vehicle right here is a seaside monster, so yeah, it's prone to corrosion. So let's get started, man. It's too cold outside, okay? I need to get warmed up, so let's get going. Looking at the state of this vehicle, I know that there is so much more that needs doing, but anyway, to get the seized caliper off, we have to break it free from the caliper holder by undoing the 2 bolts on the back. After that, we can then pry it off from the disc, and it being seized, it's not the easiest thing to do. I don't know if you guys saw there, but this caliper here gave me a hard time, man. I can't compress it in. It's just not moving. It's actually seized in place. The thing is, this side is really bad. The other side is partially seized. So the customer was just like, okay, you know what? Let's just get it done. When I say partially seized, it's like, it's still tough even after when you're compressing it. It's very tough. But it compresses. This side, on the other hand, does not compress at all. So we'll replace it with a Padget, of course. Let's get it done, man. Now that the new caliper is installed, we still have the duty to clean the brake pad runners by filing it. This ensures that there is no gunk or rust that may stop the brake pads from moving freely. Once the brake pads are in, it's time to bleed it. But first, let me just explain something to you guys. Well, if you guys are wondering, why did I not change the brake pads and the brake disc? Again, never my choice. If it was my choice, I'll do it the perfect way, which is obviously to replace it. Put it down in the comment section below what you think about that. I don't like it. I'm probably with you guys. I don't like it. It's not my choice. Customer's choice, not mine. Right, last and final. I know that some of you guys will say that I should have declined the job or whatever, but this so-called reusing the pads and discs is temporary. He's booked again to get it changed a week after shooting this video, so please don't kill me for it. Now that we've got a solid line from the looks of it on my one-way valve, close it. And that is us done. Boom. Move on to the next side. Let's go! I didn't want to bore anyone, so I thought, you know, I'll just do it. We are in the bleeding process right now, as you can see right there. So we're just gonna give it good step in on the brake. Have a look. Yeah, that's flowing nicely. As you can see right there, that's a solid line, and that's what we'd like to see. Job's good. I can proudly say that what we did on this vehicle has fixed the binding issue that he's been having. Now it's time to move on to the next job, something that is rather common for the brand that I am about to show you. We are going to be diagnosing this Range Rover Evoque over here. Oh man, this is a bad one. So the customer has actually reported that the vehicle went on a runaway diesel. So basically, runaway diesel is when the seals on the turbo has failed. What happens is engine oil starts getting into the intake, and then obviously the engine oil becomes the fuel. And as you know, for diesel engines you don't need spark to ignite anything. It's just literally the compression that ignites the fuel, and the fuel is pretty much the oil. And he's reported that there was a lot of smoke coming out from the back, and it was just revving high until it came to a halt. Now that being said, he also mentioned that he's overfilled the oil, and I want you to see this dipstick. Here's a dipstick. All right, we'll clean that off. As you can see, that's clean. And watch when it comes out. So you can see it's silver. Let's put that in there. And boom. You can see that really, I'm going to put it on the floor so you can see it. The customer mentioned that he performed an oil change on the car by just adding 8 liters of oil to the engine. When I asked if he drained the old oil, he told me that he didn't. He then told me the reason why he did this is because he doesn't trust any of the local mechanics. So here I am attending to his broken car. What an absolute shame. And it's already gone on runaway diesel. I think it's low mileage as well. I don't want to start the vehicle because the same thing would happen all over again. And it's the last thing that I want, because people will panic and they're probably going to call the fire department. So we don't want to do that. Yeah, he's overfilled this oil, and after that apparently went on runaway diesel. But would that cause the seal to break overfilling the oil? The answer to that is no. But once it starts going into the crank ventilation system, that is what's going to happen. I think it's more like the PCV started sucking in oil. Basically the intake started sucking in oil back into the intake, and that's what's caused it more than the turbo, because he said it's low mileage. I think he said like 30,000, and I haven't heard of one of these vehicles failing at that short space amount of time and mileage as well. You can see this engine needs to be replaced now anyway, because he said he tried starting it after that and there was a knock for when he's just cranking. No successful start, just a knock. So let's go and have a look. Right, okay, so okay, it's very surprising. Well, it's not, obviously it went on a runaway diesel, but can you see this bolt right here? I don't know if you can see it. It's just sunny. See this? I'll try to move it. In fact, there you go. Right, guess where this is from. Alright, are you ready for it? Are you ready? Look. It was at this point when I thought I've seen enough. It's a shame that because of local mechanic bandits, this customer had to try and service his own vehicle, resulting in a catastrophic damage. We definitely need more trustworthy garages to pop up and bring the trust back to our trade. Just push the injectors out, and I'll see you got this as well. So yikes, it broke the bolts and the holders, and the injectors are out. I guess you could say that it's a point of failure just to protect the engine, but I don't want to crank it anymore. I'm scared. I am not even going to touch that. So let's just move on to the next job. New engine is required. Alright, and off. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the compilation of jobs that we had for you today. We have so much more coming, including a very expensive rebuild. So please like, share, comment and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. Peace. Oh God.